Thanks for staying with us here on The Pulse. Now, Accra is set to make history as it prepares to host the Maiden Ghana Space Conference from October 6 to 8 at the University of Ghana, ISA, with a theme harnessing space technology for sustainable development and inclusive growth in Ghana and beyond. The conference aims to position Ghana at the heart of Africa's rapidly growing $22.6 billion space economy. Well, let's explore this further. Joining me in the studio for more on this is Dr. Joseph Breman Tandoh. He's director for the Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse. Also joining me via Zoom is Kwaku Sumah. He is managing director of Spacehubs Africa. We appreciate your time. I'll start with you, Doc, in the studio. Why should I attend this conference?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me for the opportunity. So, space science technology is essential if, as a country, we want to achieve our sustainable goals. It's the most efficient way, and it has been tested and proven. So, when I was at the waiting room, I think I had the turbidity issues that is going on. And do you know we can measure this turbidity using satellite remotely? Not necessarily for you to go to the ground to take ground measurements. You can do this using satellite technology. Also, when it comes to illegal mining, monitoring our forest, how much of the forest we are losing, time series, you can do all this with satellite technology. So, and in Ghana, we've done a lot when it comes to space science, but it's just that the momentum is now down. You remember in 2017, the Ghana Sat-1, Ghana launched its first satellites with the All Nations University. In that same year, the president inaugurated Ghana's first radio telescope, and it's the largest radio telescope in the sub-region, which currently is a designated center for training in terms of STEM education and astrophysics learning. And in 2022, Ghana has a national space policy that has been approved by Cabinet. And just about 3 months ago, Cabinet also approved the establishment of the Space Agency. So all these are foundations that we've laid, but the thing is, we need to create the awareness. So we need to bring all relevant stakeholders together because space cuts across all ministries, from defense to food security to lands and natural resource monitoring. So it cuts across. So the main reason we are doing this conference is, one, to create the awareness from the upstream to the downstream. Then two, also the space economy is booming. Worldwide, space economy now sits at almost $613 billion US. In Africa alone, we are looking at 22 billion. How do we take parts, or how do we take our share? We need to develop the downstreams so that we can also play a part in terms of, we don't need to just be users, we need to be players. So at the conference, there will be experts from international body space agencies, also in Africa, and also experts in Ghana also to share their successes, what they've done with space science technology. And we also have a section for youth, also where the youth also will be introduced to how they can start their own startups. Because when we look at the 22 billion, most of it is going to the downstream, developing tools that the ministries will use to monitor, developing efficient tools for crop monitoring in terms of crop health. So this is what we want to tell the world, that as a country, we are serious. We don't want to just be users, because technology has been with us. Even when I was coming here, I used Google Maps, and Google Maps heavily depends on satellite technology. When you do any ordering in terms of food, in terms of, it uses satellite technologies.
So how can Ghana leverage this wonderful, vast space you're telling us about in our daily activities and yet still be a big player?
Okay, so we have the space policy that has been launched. So doing the conference is a part of implementing the policy. We need to create the awareness. Not so many people know we have a policy. We have a policy that has an implementation plan. It has a short, medium, and long term, and is under Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology to implement this policy. So by implementing this policy, that is where we need to get the stakeholders involved, because when you look at space in other countries, it's the private sector that drives the space. Governments will give the guidance, will give the policy, will give the regulations, but it's the private sector that drives it. So at this conference, we are creating the need, because the private sector is the one that creates the jobs. So if, let's say, Ministry of Forestry, the lands and natural resource needs to constantly monitor our resources, because now, believe you me, there are satellites with high resolutions at 30 centimeters. So they can view 30 images at pixel of 30 centimeters from almost 10,000 kilometers, 20,000 kilometers above. So we can create a business out of it and the industry out of it to create jobs for the people. Because we're already using the technology, but we can't depend on them. If today, those who host these satellites say, okay, I'm putting it off, how do we do our transactions? How do we do our banking activities? How do we do our communication? So we need to be not
big
just
player.
Yes, be core players. That's where we can get a bit of the 22 billion that is at stake.
Let me bring in Kwaku, who is joining us via Zoom. How can I be a part of this conference if I'm a young person watching?
Very much, and good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
The best way to be involved is just to simply go to our website, so GhanaSpaceConference.org. Similarly, you can follow the conference on social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Just have to search Ghana Space Conference. For students, especially if you apply with a motivation letter, you have the opportunity to attend the conference for free with a conference grant. So we really invite all Ghanaians to get involved, whether young or old, learn more about the conference and spread the excitement to help us build a national movement behind Ghana's space ambitions.
And how much will it cost me to be a part of it?
Yes, so as I mentioned, for students, the cost is free with a motivation letter. For adult Ghanaians, the cost is 825 Ghana cedis.
I see. And let's look at how beneficial it would be for the country if we get on board and attend this space conference. Why exactly should I be interested as a young person?
Yeah, so when we talk about space, a lot of the time we think space is something that's very far away and not very relevant to our daily lives. In reality, however, space technology already shapes much of our daily lives. Satellite data is used by news presenters to report on weather information. That same data on weather helps over 14 million Ghanaian farmers to decide when to plant, and also coastal communities to be wary of storms when they're going out to fish. So space-based solutions are really something that's embedded in our economy and our well-being. And so we need to be more actively involved and educate the general citizenship that this is something that is relevant to our daily lives, and to motivate the new space workforce, which can help us build solutions that are locally built and tailored to the problems that Ghana faces.
But in real time, really, how much is Ghana losing by not participating in this whole space structure? Do you know in real time?
So it's always very hard to quantify the specific amounts in like a numeric value. However, what you have to understand is, for example, Africa and Ghana really survive off our resources. And space technology helps us to better manage these resources and be more efficient with them. So if we're talking about issues with Galamsey, for example, or if we talk about our cocoa farms, these are all things that we can better manage if we had more data to help make decisions. So we can think about space as more data that helps us get a better picture of what the problem is and how we can develop a plan to solve, mitigate, or improve our management of these resources.
And let me come into the studio as we wrap up the conversation and speak to Doc. Just looking at this as a young person, I'm quite interested. But then we're wondering, apart from this conference, what other avenues are available to sensitize the youth about the space technology and how we can be a part of it?
Okay, thank you. So the Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute, as it was established in 2011, currently we have 3 centers, and we do remote sensing, radio astronomy, and also satellite communication and engineering. Our doors are open. Students come in and out for internships. We also do constant training programs. Even this December, we'll be having training programs in terms of STEM education and astronomy. And also, we also do training in terms of remote sensing, how you can convert that satellite image into real solutions. So GSSTI, our doors are open. If you want to come for internship, or if there's anything that you want to learn in terms of space science and promoting your own business, starting your own tools in terms of space development, you can come to Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute.
Oh, thank you so much for your time here on The Pulse. We appreciate your time, Doc, and we're looking forward to be a part of it, just to sensitize us. I'll just take final words from Kwaku, who is joining us via Zoom within just 30 seconds. Why exactly should we be part of this?
To add on to what Dr. Tandoh has already said, is that this conference should really be seen as more than an event. It's really a launch pad for Ghana's future in space. If we all come together and learn together and work together, we can really show the world what we can achieve in the space industry. It's really a moment of national pride because Ghana is ready to lead and shine as one of the beacons of Africa's innovation. So for me, to every Ghanaian and young Ghanaian watching, the future of space is really yours to shape. Come to our conference, join the conversation, and be the spark that helps Ghana move forward in the space arena. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kwaku, for your time. And thank you so much, Doc, for joining us in the studio. You're still watching The Pulse. After this quick turn, we'll be back with more. Please stay tuned in.